with the mouse, which is a tank that would be halfway desirable, but in the end it gets shot up so quickly with heat ammunition that not many people enjoy it these days. Now, we had a quick peek on the matchmaking at the moment, so let's just quickly recap what we see. Well, this is a 44%er in terms of predicted win chance for the team. It's not awful, but also looking at the team distribution, definitely more of the better players are actually on the other team. So we really have to work hard if we want this to be a victory in the end. Positioning wise, there are a lot of heavies on both sides, so most of them are pretty much expected to come to this side, where the heavies usually brawl it out between themselves. So coming here ourselves is a really wise and reasonable choice to do. Now the other side of the map, on the water side, on the 8 line, unfortunately is not really covered by anyone. So that's a bit of a shame and could be in trouble. In the meantime we get a sneaky shot into the T-71, who definitely did overextend there a little bit. But there is no time to be wasted. The enemies have been already spotted up front. Ah yes, which is, let's be honest here, isn't really going to be a concern for us. A T-34, which could be a little bit of trouble, and an AMX 50-100, so there is plenty of opposition on this side, which we have to take care of. And oops, there is the IS, well, one of them. But we decide to push on down here below. Now this is actually a very smart thing to do. As we can see, all the enemies are clustered up on that corner where usually the heavies go to die from artillery, because as we will see later during this week, artillery from both sides can easily reach the heavy engagement zones. Instead, we choose to move down this path where we are actually right now in artillery cover, and as soon as we get to dispose of this pesky Jagdtiger, giving us its lower plates, means we were just able to do that, we will just come up right behind the asses of all those heavies. And that means it's damage farming time. Now in the meantime, let's actually have a quick look at what we have here in the form of this German heavy tank, where we have a very slow, really heavy tank, as we unfortunately donked the shot into the ground. The power to weight ratio is quite awful. It's below 11 horsepower per ton, and yes, I wouldn't want to be in your position at the moment. And even the top speed is 30, so this thing won't be able to shift around the battlefield fast at all. What you have to compensate is a lot of armor. 200mm in the front, on the hull, and on the turret 252. So frontally this thing can be an absolute nightmare to go through, especially when it's hull down. You can try to shoot the turret cupola, but that can be a tricky target as well. It's fairly well rounded, and it's not a huge target. It seems these guys are very determined to take on the E-75 and the OHO, allowing us to basically cut through them. We are already on 3 kills and 1600 damage. So now it's only to finish up the WZ. As expected, the enemy unfortunately came through on the other front, in the form of an IS-3, and is now mopping up the remaining of our team in the base. This game is not even 5 minutes old and we are already down 8-11. So this side has been taken care of, but the situation is not really good. And whoops, there was an artillery shell, barely avoided. So basically it's down to the 3 of us, 2 German heavies, the E-75 and the VK, supported by an OHO. And all of us are sitting in this corner, giving the enemy basically free rein on the entire map, including our cap circle. Now, sniping from up here is pretty much the obvious thing to do. However, we have to be careful. This is not an artillery safe position, as we will find out in a second. And the VK's gun, well, it's rather precise, if you can let it aim. It has a just below 3-second aim time as we blast the T-71 into oblivion. And if you manage to let it aim, it has 0.36 meters dispersion. On the other hand, the reload is fairly low. 15 seconds gives you basically a 4 rounds per minute rate of fire only. But when it hits, as that AMX found out, it has 490 average damage, so it's able to shave off a very reasonable amount of health from anything that it hits. And that IS-3 has just fired HE on us, and oh, that did definitely hurt. Almost 600 HE damage. That was definitely artillery. And that's the problem with this location. You see that small ridge next to us? That protects from enemy fire from the middle, but artillery can easily loop shells over it. So we have to be careful and pull back where the cover is a little bit better. In the meantime, both the E-75 and us did quite a good job. But enemies kept ping, or are they not? So what happened? They had only about 28 seconds to go until they cap, and we are in slow German heavies. But suddenly the IS-3 decided to stop the cap. I wonder why that is. Also, there is no artillery fire coming in on both us and also on the E-75, and that is the IS-3, so thank you very much for reversing back into cover, and it seems he's still firing HE. Oh my god. So why isn't artillery shooting at us? Well, that's a dangerous question, and there is usually one very good reason for that, and that is because they come to hunt you down. Oh my god, tier 9 artillery in the side. Oh, snapshot. Ooh, donk it into the ground. That's the problem with this gun. If you don't have 3 seconds to aim, it's inaccurate as hell. And oh, don't do it. Don't do it. If you poke your head out and oh, he fires into the ground. So we take another shot and it goes again into the ground. Oh, holy crap. Clock is ticking. Come on, we have to chase this guy down. We don't already 2 shots. Should be able to one-shot him a fair amount of the time. 490 average damage? No, he's on 1 health. Oh my god, he's almost reloaded for sure. We have to go and finish this guy off in style. Wow, what happened right there? And avoiding closely another artillery shell. That was unbelievable. That bad chat must be cursing at the moment. Well, this was a fair amount of luck, to be sure. Unfortunately, in the meantime, the E-75 managed to die at the hands of the artillery and the IS-3. So it's down to us. And there is the IS-3. And to be fair, that guy from the front absolutely had 0 chance to deflect 246 millimeters of average penetration. So, now it's only a question of mopping up the remaining artillery, but then again, these are tier 7 and tier 8 artillery, so they could mean a lot of danger. So we have to be careful. And oh boy, here comes the other one. Oh, please don't shoot us in the side, and he leaves the shell over